Welcome to our sailboat Tigerlily. This is Colby, I'm Mariah, and these are our two cats, Namiria and Took. We're headed to California to prep for our adventures in Mexico. We hope you follow along and enjoy.
Good morning from San Francisco. As you can tell, we just, well, maybe an hour and a half ago, woke up.
We've been awake for a while.
We've been awake for a while, but it's still morning for us. Last night was, I slept a little bit here and there, but with Anchorage being so tight, I had alarms set for every couple of hours for me to go out and check the anchorage and make sure we're not swinging into somebody. I'm not really too worried about dragging. It's just, it's so tight that I'm worried about swinging into somebody. But we were all okay. We went from all directions. We didn't drag anchor, nothing so far. So we're okay. I don't think Mariah really got any sleep.
No.
So that's fun after having came all the way from Eureka. But that's okay. I'm sure tonight we'll get better sleep. And anyway, we are this morning kind of figuring out our plans for today and tomorrow. I think today In-N-Out Burger is on our list because Mariah very much so wants a burger. And I do too, to be honest with you.
I really want some animal style fries.
Yeah, animal style fries. And besides that, we're figuring out how we're gonna get to Scanmar tomorrow to pick up our monitor wind vane electric autopilot adaptation. And
we found out this really cool, well, I'm sure everybody knows this except for us, but on your, if you have an iPhone, the Apple Wallet, there's a clipper or like a bunch of different,
it's called a
transit cards.
It's a clipper card, and it's basically for buses and trains in San Francisco, which we have to go all the way past Alameda tomorrow.
And there's one for LA too, which we should probably get to. But yeah.
So tomorrow we're gonna take buses and trains. Again, public transit. Never really done it before, but we're figuring it out.
And it's super easy.
It is pretty easy. I don't know why I've always been afraid of it.
Yeah, me either. It's like now I'd be like, yeah, absolutely, ride the bus everywhere.
Right. Yeah, there was some sort of triathlon event, and there was like hundreds of swimmers, and the cats were very interested as why the hell there were humans in the water.
I mean, they're still all around.
And there's still a lot of swimmers. Oh, hello. As you can see, there's swimmers. Yeah, and the Alcatraz is right over there, if you can see that sailboat passing right by it. I mean, we even have a view of the Golden Gate Bridge from here. I don't know if you can see that in the video. I mean, this is just kind of an awesome spot.
It's really cool.
It's a tight, oops, sorry, Nims. It's a tight anchorage.
There's a lot of people.
It's a little noisy, it's a little busy, but I mean, you're in a city. What do you expect is going to happen exactly?
Verdict, babe?
It's good. Really good. Although, I feel like I'm going to regret this later because I can already kind of feel we've been eating so healthy for like the past month because we've been cooking everything ourselves and Mariah's canned our own stuff and all stuff. Even though we've had pizzas here and there, it was still seemed healthier. It was good. Yeah, the burger it was good. And we won't get burgers down in Mexico, at least that's so we hear. So eat them up now while we can, I guess.
I'm very satisfied. It was very good. I love In-N-Out. And anytime I come to California, or at least further south enough from Washington that In-N-Out is at, I gotta go. Because it's so good. I think we're about to go walk around and, I don't know, look at stuff. Obviously, we've already bought something.
Yeah, we need to walk off what we just ate.
Yeah, also we need to walk off our burger. So we're gonna go be tourists in San Francisco. clearly we found the, what is this? Oh, the visitor center.
Yeah, National Park Visitor Center.
Yeah, National Park Visitor Center. So naturally we had to come. Duh.
It's kind of fun looking at a map instead of on my phone with a chart plotter, but we came down this coastline and headed towards this buoy here, the first red marker, to get around what's called the Potato Patch Shoal, which was plenty deep enough, but it gets kind of rough over here. So we went between the red and greens, around this buoy here, and then straight on in underneath the Golden Gate Bridge. Well, we're back on the boat after walking around just kind of the bayfront area, and let the kitties out so they can have their time outside. And yeah, I don't think we're gonna go back to shore tonight. See, it's 2 o'clock now. Yeah, I think we're just gonna make dinner here tonight, probably some lemon pasta. And yeah, and then tomorrow we will be going to Scanmar International to pick up our autopilot.
Good afternoon. We are about to head out and get our first bus to Alameda.
We gotta go from a bus to a train to a bus to get there. And then I'm assuming same thing back, just in reverse.
Dinghy done. Now off to find our first boat. Our first boat. Our first train. Our first bus. Jesus Christ.
All right, we made it to San Leandro, and here we are at Scanmar. Let's go see if we can get our autopilot.
The components then, really three. You got the white box that has all the intelligence, including the gyros, and the autopilot software. So basically the brain, if you will. The black box is the drive box. It has all the power connections. It distributes power to the actuator. It also receives command and control from the control head. Then also from the black box, as I said, it goes to the actuator. So this is a standard tiller actuator for like a tiller driven boat. But what we're going to do is put everything on the monitor itself. So we designed this specifically for the monitor. So we pre-wire this backwards to this. So in theory, this is made to go on starboard. If this goes on starboard, it's now ready to go, and we'll move your water paddle in the right direction. And we give you, with the monitor system, we include the remote. Because you want to engage the autopilot when the pendulum is as centered as possible. And if you don't have the remote, you're sitting here going like this, making sure you're not hitting anything. You know, the sails are where they need to be. and before you hit the plunger, you're looking over your shoulder, and then you're going back, and there's this back, and it's like, you know what? So much easier. So now you can sit here and go, you can move it.
Okay.
Let me take it out of autopilot mode. So we haven't engaged anything yet.
Right.
We're going this way.
Yeah.
We want to engage the pelagic. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and move the actuator, which then moves the water paddle.
Yeah.
So the minute that water paddle kind of gets in center, you go boom, and now we're engaged.
Wow.
So now the boat goes off course.
Then it starts steering.
Right.
Over the...
Okay. And that's simple as that.
We're here. I got all the parts from the pelagic autopilot. That's my phone. All laid out and kind of looking through it and kind of looking where I'm going to put stuff. And but I'm not going to start installing today. It'll be tomorrow. We are treating ourselves to dinner tonight at the Pallet Tea House, which is just on shore over there. And a lot of people suggested it to us, and we've been craving some Chinese food, so that's what we're going to go get. It's a fun anchorage. I don't know if I said this, but maybe it's a better time to say this. It's weird because every boat acts different in here, because what you have is in the afternoons, from what I've noticed so far, at least this time of year, is in the afternoons the wind picks up from the west, and the current, the tide right now is going out, so you have like a 1 to 2 knot current going the opposite direction to the wind. So it's weird because that's why our boat is sideways right now to the wind, is because the current's pushing the boat underneath the boat and the wind's pushing us from the side. And that's why we're stuck at this in-between, I think.
Yeah, and like every boat in here is turned opposite ways.
Yeah,
like
they're all turned correctly. They're all into the wind, and I think the reason is because we have a bigger keel than most of these boats.
Yeah.
Our keel is very kind of long. We're not a full keel boat, but at the same time we're bigger than a fin keel boat, and so I think, and plus our rudder is a lot bigger than a lot of people's. So I think that that's what's messing with it. That's what's turning us sideways. Good morning. It is Tuesday in San Francisco. Sorry for my hair. Just kind of woke up, and we're gonna have a full day on the boat here, just kind of doing boat stuff. So we went and got the autopilot yesterday, and they go in there. They told me to watch out for the version of the monitor wind vane, because this little part here sometimes needs a set screw put into it, basically a drilled and tap hole for a screw to go through. And come to find out, when I got here, I tested it out, and it's gonna need one of those set screws, which is okay. I have everything I need here. I have a screw, a little 1/4-20. I have the 1/4-20 tap and drill, so I'm gonna go ahead and drill and tap a hole. I've got that lever arm on there for the motor, and now I'm gonna lower the dinghy and put on the bracket that the motor hooks onto. The bracket comes in a few different parts. I mean, it came as assembly. I took it apart because I don't want to lose stuff in the water, so one thing at a time. So I gotta mount this bracket to the bar on the starboard side of the wind vane, and then this gets mounted to the bracket, and the motor gets pinned in right there. And then the motor part will be done, and the rest of the installation is just electrical hookups and mounting in the box. So I mounted the plug for the motor right there. It's the only way I could place that like reaches okay and would be sort of out of the way. It's just to be conscious of it when you sit down here, but it should be okay. I'll clean all the fiberglass dust up here in a minute. Here's a control head, and I think this is gonna go perfect right up here. But I gotta get underneath here and double check that the wiring will all fit, but I think that's a pretty good place. And then the actual control box, well, this part has all the brains in it, right? The heading sensor and all that stuff. And here's kind of the control box for the motor. This I'm gonna mount underneath here close to the breakers, because that's where it's getting power from, and it's sending power to the motor. And so I gotta run a power cable and this data cable up here to where I'm gonna mount everything. It's funny how one little project makes the boat look like this. And down there, it stresses me out just looking at it. But anyway, so I've got a mounting location kind of drilled out and ready to go. I just kind of pushed the cable into the hole. Now I've got to climb down here and go run it underneath and over to the DC panel over there. Here is the control box for the autopilot, which I'm going to mount up here. I'm going to put a terminal block below it to connect all the wires to. Alright, I've got the autopilot control box right there, wired to a terminal strip, and I've got motor and power wires hooked up. And I've already connected the power to the DC panel to a breaker labeled steer, which I think was originally for the pedestal, but we're changing it. It's going to be autopilot now. And now the last thing I got to do is hook up and mount the head control box, and then connect the connector for the actual autopilot motor. I've got the plug wired up here. Now we can throw that back in. I left plenty of extra wire so that I can cut some back if I ever feel like there's water intrusion. So nice little deal there. And then we just gotta get this thing right in there. Plug this guy right into that, and we are ready to turn on the autopilot. The autopilot is on. There it goes.
We're enjoying our last day in San Francisco. We are sitting in a park staring at the boat, and we're about to go to Ghirardelli and eat some ice cream. And yeah, we're leaving tomorrow. Kind of excited to leave and head to Half Moon Bay, I think. We are back at the boat now, and we went and explored the city just for one last time since we're not going to be back in San Francisco. We went to the Ghirardelli Square again. We got some sundaes. And now we're back at the boat, and it's a freaking pigsty in here. We've been here for a week, so we've got toys out. We've got projects like wood carving. We've got a whole wood carving set out right now. Colby's up putting some teak sealant on the decks again. Editing, lots going on. So we need to clean up and store a lot of things away before we leave in the morning. We plan to leave, I think, around 7. It's going to take about 4 hours to get to Half Moon Bay, which is nice because I think we're both a little disappointed in this anchorage. I mean, it's a really cool spot, and it would be super nice if it was a little more protected, but it's very rolly. We haven't stopped moving since we set anchor on Saturday. So Half Moon Bay hopefully will be a little better. We'll see, I guess. Probably won't talk to you until we are picking up anchor in the morning and leaving San Francisco. Good morning. Our last morning from San Francisco. We are picking up anchor as we speak. We're about to head out to Half Moon Bay. Should be about 4 hours. Hopefully it's nice out there. It looks like it's supposed to be nicer today, so we'll see. Yeah.
Goodbye, San Francisco, Anchorage. And we're done with San Francisco. There's the bridge. We are outie. Ready to be done with San Francisco, babe?
Yeah, it was fun while it lasted, but we're ready to move on.
Yep. On to Half Moon Bay and hopefully closer to warmer weather.